Being unemployed and still getting such a big room just for yourself is so unfair. So, from now on, I'm taking over your room."
My brother and his wife forcibly took over my room, mocking me.
"No, this is my room, and I need you to leave with your stuff right now."
When I raised my voice, my brother scowled in confusion and hurled insults at me.
What's the big deal about losing your room? Just go sleep in the bathroom. And if you don't like that, just get out of this house already.
Saying that, my brother gestured dismissively as if shooing away a stray cat. Listening to my brother and his wife, I clenched my fists in anger so tight they trembled.
"Fine. I'm leaving, then."
Having reached my limit, I started to put into action what I had been contemplating for a while. My name, Ashley. I'm 29 years old this year. After graduating from college, I worked at a financial securities firm for about 2 years. Then, despite opposition from those around me, I decided to become a day trader, driven by my interest in investments and the flow of money in the world.
Is working from home really okay? Wouldn't it be better to do it as a side hustle while keeping your job?
Right. Wouldn't it be better to work at a company properly while you're young?
Initially, my parents were worried about me going freelance, but after much persuasion, they finally supported me, saying, "It's the path you've chosen for yourself, so go for it." I enjoyed analyzing about economics even when I was an employee. I steadily increased my income, and last year, as a way of showing appreciation to my parents, I bought them a house. For my car-loving father, I arranged a spacious parking area, and for my gardening enthusiast mother, I prepared a large garden where she could plant lots of flowers and plants. Above all, my favorite part is my own room. For work, I use multiple monitors, so I ensured a spacious area, using black as the main color scheme to create an overall chic look. Thinking this would be a once-in-a-lifetime purchase, I spared no expense to build a house filled with my dreams, which made me feel even more committed. My parents loved the new house, and the days spent with them were peaceful. I thought this lifestyle would continue forever. Just when I thought so, something occurred that shattered our tranquil daily life. One afternoon, during a holiday, I was relaxing and chatting with my parents in the living room. Suddenly, my mother's cell phone rang.
"Oh, it's Mike."
My brother, Mike?"
Mike is my brother, who is 4 years older than me. My brother has always been self-centered, and I've had a hard time with him since I was little. Stealing things and looking down on others was an everyday thing to him. His high-handed attitude towards our parents, especially seeing them being verbally abused by my brother, was very painful. Those days continued until my brother graduated from high school and left home. Since then, there have been hardly any calls from my brother, only a phone call to report his marriage. Receiving such a call from my brother, my parents and I exchanged puzzled looks.
Why don't you just answer the phone for now?
"Yeah, I guess."
My father suggested answering the phone.
"Hello, Mike. It's been a while."
Hey, Mom, long time no see. Have you been well?
We could hear my brother's voice faintly from the phone.
"Yes, I'm fine. But it's unusual for you to call all of a sudden. Is something up?"
Well, the thing is,
My brother started to speak hesitantly.
actually, due to the recession, I'm going to be leaving my job at the end of this month.
"What? You're quitting your job.
Hearing my brother say he was quitting his job, my father and I exchanged surprised glances.
So, without any income, things are going to get tough. That's why I was wondering if Helen and I could come back and stay at home for a while.
A bad feeling started creeping in from the conversation between my mother and my brother.
Okay, I understand. We can't decide right away, so I'll discuss it with Dad and get back to you soon.
After hanging up, my mother had a somewhat serious look on her face. Indeed, the change in my brother's demeanor over the phone was unbelievably meek. However, I couldn't help but feel a bit suspicious of this change.
It seems like Mike is getting fired from his job by the end of this month.
Isn't Helen a stay-at-home wife?
Helen is the person who married my brother about 2 years ago. I heard she quit her job to become a full-time housewife when they got married.
I guess you're not comfortable living with Mike and his wife, are you?
To be honest, I wanted to avoid dealing with my brother and his wife as much as possible.
Wasn't my brother's behavior earlier just an act because he wants to move in here?
Why does my brother always have to interfere with my peaceful life with my parents?
You know, Mike is really a kind person at heart. Could we ask you to bear with it until he finds a new job?
It was hard for me to say I don't want to live with them in front of my parents, who were worried about my brother and his wife.
No, if you two are okay with it, I won't oppose to it.
I suppressed the dark feelings within me and consented to the living arrangement. Besides, having not seen my brother for a while and witnessing his downtrodden state over the phone, I harbored a slight hope that he had changed for the better.
Ashley, thank you.
Then, my mother immediately informed my brother that we agreed on the two of them living with us. The following week, my brother and his wife arrived at our house with a ton of luggage.
Dad, Mom, I appreciate your help.
Thank you so much. I'll do my best to be helpful in whatever way I can.
While my brother and his wife were deeply expressing their gratitude to my parents, they frowned and looked puzzled upon seeing me.
Ah, Ashley is here too.
Yep. I live here too.
As I said that, my sister-in-law stared at me intently.
Where should we put our stuff? It'd really help if we could have a room each since we have so much luggage.
Is that so? I thought you two would be fine sharing a room. The second floor only has my room, Ashley's room, Dad's room, and a guest room.
Really? Wait, does Ashley have a room to herself?
Yes, that's right. This house was built by Ashley, after all.
Huh, I see.
My brother said that and looked at me, but he hardly tried to talk to me. I had no idea what my brother was thinking. And like that, the cohabitation with my brother and his wife began. At first, my brother and his wife were actively doing chores, but gradually their true nature began to show.
Hey, Ashley. Make some snacks for us.
Late at night, after I finished my work and was about to take a bath, I went down to the living room and found my brother and his wife drinking.
Why me? Can't you make it yourself?
I responded coldly to my brother. However, my brother twisted his face in displeasure at my attitude.
What? You're just a freeloader neat, so you should at least do that much.
My brother, raising his voice, reminded me of his former tyrannical self. However, unlike before, I clearly counted my brother.
Unlike you, I actually work and earn my own money.
Ha! For someone who's never properly been part of society and stays cooped up, you sure talk big.
At first, my sister-in-law was quiet behind my brother, but then she joined in, hurling insults at me.
Exactly. Ashley, you've been living an easy life thanks to your parents, haven't you?
Excuse me?
That's why I'm saying it's unfair. Ashley has been living in this big house for free this whole time.
What?
As she said this and drank more, my sister-in-law was heavily intoxicated.
Now it's our turn. So, it's only natural that Ashley serves us, right?
That's nonsense. Plus, I actually pay for my living expenses.
When I talked back like that, my brother snorted and spoke condescendingly.
Ha! Don't get ahead of yourself just because you make a bit of money working from home.
What? I don't need to hear that from you, who doesn't even work.
After our huge argument, my brother and his wife never contributed to the household expenses and started treating me like a servant. Thinking that my parents were paying for the living expenses and the mortgage, my brother and his wife would suck up to my parents but treat me practically like a slave. Such a life continued for a while.
Hey, Ashley. We're out of beer. Go buy some more.
Ashley, can you drop me off at the station tomorrow? I'm going out.
At first, my brother and his wife made various demands to me in secret from her parents, but soon they began to boss me around even in front of them openly.
Hey, cut it out. We're able to live here thanks to Ashley.
Exactly. This house was built with the money Ashley provided for us, you know.
My parents spoke up for me, but my brother and his wife wouldn't listen and continued to mock me.
Dad and Mom have always been too soft on Ashley.
Right? Isn't that discrimination? Shouldn't children be treated equally?
The selfish actions of my brother and his wife continued, and I spent my days being oppressed by them. One day, I had to leave the house for about 3 nights due to work. Although I was anxious about leaving the house, I figured my brother and his wife must feel some gratitude for being allowed to live there and wouldn't do anything too terrible, so I went as planned. However, upon my return, I deeply regretted leaving the house. When I got home, I found my belongings from my room thrown into the hallway and some of my work equipment, including my computer monitor, broken.
What is this?
I rushed to my room, only to find it had already been transformed into a room with a pink, girly theme. In the center of the room, my sister-in-law was lying on a frilly lace bed reading a magazine with my brother playing video games beside her.
Hey, what is going on here?
When I rushed over, my sister-in-law was nonchalantly grinning, still lying on the bed.
It's so unfair that you, being unemployed, get such a big room all to yourself. So, from now on, I'll be using your room.
No, this is my room, and I need you to leave with your stuff right now.
When I raised my voice, my brother scowled in confusion and yelled at me.
What's the big deal about losing a room? Just go sleep in the bathroom. And if you don't like that, just get out of this house already.
Saying that, my brother gestured dismissively as if shooing away a stray cat. Listening to my brother and his wife, I clenched my fists in anger so tight they trembled.
Fine. I'm leaving, then.
Having reached my limit, I started to put into action what I had been contemplating for a while. A few weeks after I left the house, I was searching for a new place and simultaneously making certain preparations. Then I explained the situation to my parents and had them move to the new high-rise apartment I had purchased. After that, I received dozens of calls on my cell phone from my brother and sister-in-law. I ignored the calls for a while, but after receiving too many missed calls, I reluctantly answered the phone.
Hey, where did Mom and Dad go? They said they were going on a trip and haven't come back. Do you know something?
Right off the bat, my brother started talking in a panicked tone.
We're running out of food at home, and laundry is piling up like a mountain. Plus, I want Mom and Dad to pay for living expenses quickly. You must know where they went, right?
It was utterly astonishing that, despite not knowing where our parents were, my brother and his wife were more concerned about their own living conditions than our parents' well-being. I had reached the moment I had long awaited to retaliate against my brother and his wife, and I quietly began to speak.
Mom and Dad are living with me now.
Ha!
My statement left my brother speechless. From the other end of the phone, I could hear Helen making a commotion.
By the way, don't you think it's about time you stopped leeching off our parents and started living on your own?
What?
Repeating the words my brother once said to me back to him left him stuttering in frustration.
That doesn't matter. Why are you and Mom and Dad living together?
Why? Because we moved, obviously.
My brother, irritated by my firm attitude, gradually raised his voice.
Don't mess around. What are you doing on your own?
To my brother, who raised his voice, I calmly told him the truth.
Just so you know, that house is going to be sold at the end of this month. So pack up your things and leave quickly, please.
What? Why? We're still living here. And why are you the one selling our parents' house?
To my brother, who was raising his voice in confusion, I continued.
That's because the house itself is in my name, bought with $100 million that I paid. I've decided to sell it since I'm not living there anymore.
What? $100 million.
My brother was confused and didn't seem to understand what was going on. I continued to press on.
You've ridiculed me as an unemployed parasite, but now I'm making over $1 million a month.
What? What are you talking about?
My brother, unable to follow the sudden conversation, raised his voice in disbelief. Perhaps unable to bear it, the voice on the phone switched to my sister-in-law.
Ashley, I was listening to the conversation and, well, what about coming back and living together with everyone again?
To my sister-in-law, who was pleading with me on the phone, I coldly replied,
Why should I have to live with you guys? You've taken over my room even after I've been the one paying for everything. Do you really want to live like that?
I do feel sorry about that. We'll give back your room, okay?
My sister-in-law continued as if to persuade me, but my decision remained firm. As I was thinking this, the voice on the phone changed back to my brother's.
Ashley, we were wrong. So, can't we all live together happily as a family again?
My brother spoke weakly. I responded with a mocking laugh, just as he always used to do to me.
Whose family? I'm certainly not interested in living with a useless couple of neets.
I said that and clearly rejected my brother's offer.
Then, please let me talk to Mom and Dad. Please, I'm begging you.
Despite his request, my parents had refused to speak to him, so I did not hand over the phone.
As for Dad and Mom, it seems like they've decided to cut ties with you this time. Seems like they've finally had enough.
It appears that due to this incident, my parents have also decided to cut ties with my brother.
Please, I'm begging you. We have no savings. How are we supposed to live from now on?
My brother was begging for forgiveness over the phone, crying. However, my heart feels no pain after being constantly mocked by my brother.
Isn't that just karma? I'm cutting ties with you for good, so pack your things and leave fast.
Wait. Ashley. Please, just listen to me one more time.
My brother tried to say something, but I unilaterally hung up and blocked my brother and his wife's number. Afterwards, my brother and his wife were effectively evicted and had to move out. Jobless, they desperately searched for work, but without qualifications or experience, they couldn't find full-time jobs. They were forced to live a meager life, juggling part-time jobs. As for me, I'm living a comfortable life in a high-rise apartment with my parents. I vowed to continue living a good life, working together with my parents as a family of 3.